Let's get something straight right now. If you're not facing criticism, you're not doing anything important. The minute you step into your greatness, the minute you step out of the crowd, the minute you stop living a small life, guess what? You put a target on your back. And you know what? Good. Good. That's a sign you're alive. That's a sign you're not settling. That's a sign you're in the arena, bloody, sweaty, and fighting for something that matters. Listen to me. Criticism and rejection are not signs you're failing. They're signs you're trying. They're signs you're growing. And if you're smart, they become the fuel that launches you past the people who tried to hold you back. I'll never forget the first time I put my dreams out into the world. I was 19. I was broke. I was full of fire, but I had zero credentials. And when I started talking about changing lives, people laughed. They said, "Who does this kid think he is?" They said, "Sit down, shut up, stay small." And for a moment, I almost listened. For a moment, I almost believed them. Because rejection cuts deep, doesn't it? Especially when it comes from the people you love. Friends, family, teachers. The ones you thought would cheer you on are sometimes the first ones to doubt you. But hear me right now. Their doubt is not your destiny. Their fear is not your future. Their rejection is not your reality, unless you give it permission to be. When they laughed at me, when they criticized me, when they rejected me, I made a decision. I said, "Thank you for the fuel." I made my rejection my rocket fuel. Every no became a reason to keep going. Every insult became a rep in the gym of resilience. Every door slammed in my face built muscles of persistence. Because success isn't about avoiding rejection. Success is about using rejection. It's about flipping the script. It's about hearing you can't and answering, "Just watch me." Listen. You're going to be misunderstood. You're going to be underestimated. You're going to be criticized, judged, ignored, and doubted. Good. That's part of the price of greatness. That's part of the tax you pay to build a legendary life. Because here's the truth. Criticism doesn't define you. How you respond to criticism defines you. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. You can let it shrink you, or you can let it strengthen you. You can let it bury you, or you can use it to break through. The choice is always yours. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a statue erected for a critic? No. Because critics are forgotten. Creators are remembered. The ones who dared. The ones who failed and rose again. The ones who stood tall when the world tried to pull them down. Do you think Edison didn't face rejection? He failed over 10,000 times before he figured out the light bulb. Do you think Oprah didn't face criticism? She was told she wasn't fit for television. Do you think Michael Jordan didn't get rejected? He was cut from his high school basketball team. Champions are built in the fire of rejection. And if you want to be legendary, not just liked, not just tolerated, not just comfortable, then you have to stop running from the fire and start stepping into it. Rejection isn't a wall. It's a doorway. But you've got to have the guts to walk through it. Here's what I've learned. The bigger your dreams, the louder the rejection. The bolder your actions, the sharper the criticism. The higher you rise, the more arrows will fly at your back. And that's beautiful. Because if no one's shooting at you, you're probably not doing anything worth shooting at. Let me tell you a personal story. Years ago, when I started writing my first major book, the critics came out of the woodwork. They said, "He's too young." They said, "He's not qualified." They said, "He's just a hype guy." And for a moment, that old voice of doubt whispered, "Maybe they're right." But then I remembered, I'm not here to impress critics. I'm here to change lives. So I wrote that book with everything I had. I poured my soul into it. I spoke from my scars, not just my successes. And guess what? That book didn't just sell, it transformed lives. Because purpose always outlasts criticism. Purpose beats popularity. Mission beats mockery. Conviction beats condemnation. Every single time. So, when you get rejected, when you get criticized, when you feel that sting, I want you to remember this. Rejection is simply redirection. Criticism is simply confirmation that you're on the right track. Because if you weren't pushing boundaries, no one would care enough to criticize. If you weren't doing something big, no one would bother to reject you. They criticize what they don't understand. They reject what they're afraid of. Your job is not to be understood by everyone. Your job is to become undeniable, unstoppable, unbreakable, unfreaking shakable. You are not here to blend in. You are not here to win the approval of small minds. You are here to build something so big, so bold, so beautiful, that even your critics have no choice but to respect it. And it starts with one decision. The decision to use every ounce of rejection as jet fuel. The decision to turn every no into a louder ice. The decision to stop running from the fire and start dancing in it. Because hear me, the fire that tries to destroy you can also forge you. The fire that burns you can also build you. It all depends on what you believe. And I believe this with every fiber of my being. You were built for more. You were built for greatness. You were built for legacy. And no critic, no hater, no rejection can ever take that away from you. Now lean in, because this is critical. Rejection doesn't just test your dream. It tests your identity. When people criticize you, when doors slam in your face, when you get that call that says, "We went with someone else," it doesn't just sting your plans. It stings your soul. And that is where most people lose the fight. Not because they weren't good enough. Not because they weren't talented enough. Not because their dreams weren't big enough. But because they took rejection personally. They let it creep into their self-image. They let it become a story. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not lovable. I'm not capable. Wise. Absolute lies. Listen to me with every ounce of your heart. You are not your rejection. You are not your failure. You are not your worst day. You are the one who keeps getting up. You are the one who keeps showing up. You are the one who refuses to be defined by anything smaller than your destiny. The only reason rejection hurts so bad is because your dream matters so much. And that's good news. Because if it didn't hurt, it would mean you didn't care. It would mean you weren't really playing for something that mattered. The people who feel the sting of rejection the deepest are the people with the biggest missions. You feel deeply because you were meant to live deeply. But you can't stay stuck in the sting. You can't set up camp in the pain. You've got to stand up inside yourself and say, "This rejection is not my reason to quit. This rejection is my reason to rise." Because here's what most people don't realize. Rejection is often divine protection. You didn't get that opportunity. Maybe it wasn't aligned with your real calling. You didn't get that approval. Maybe it would have made you dependent on someone else's opinion for your own self-worth. Sometimes the closed doors are saving you from a life too small for your true greatness. Sometimes the critics are teaching you how to believe in yourself without applause. You know, when I first started doing seminars, I used to think, if I can just get everyone to love me, I'll know I'm succeeding. But you know what I found out? If everyone loves you, you're playing too small. If everyone agrees with you, you're not shaking the world enough. True impact comes with turbulence. When you really start disrupting mediocrity, when you really start moving mountains, when you really start changing lives, the critics will come. The haters will bark. The rejections will multiply. And that's how you know. You're getting closer. You're getting hotter. You're getting more unstoppable. So, the question isn't, how do I avoid rejection? The question is, how do I rise through it? You rise by realizing this. Criticism is a mirror. When someone criticizes you, you have two choices. You can react emotionally, or, or you can respond intentionally. When someone throws negativity at you, stop and ask, is there a nugget of truth here I can grow from? If there is, grab it. Use it. Sharpen yourself with it. If there isn't, drop it like a hot rock and move forward faster than ever. You see, not all criticism is bad. Some criticism is your growth plan in disguise. Some rejection is your redirection to something better. I remember one event early in my career. I thought I crushed it. Man, I thought I was flying high. Then I got the feedback forms, and one of them said, Tony's energy is overwhelming. It's too much. It's exhausting. For a second, my heart dropped. Because when you give your soul to something, it's vulnerable, right? But then I realized I don't need to dial down my energy. I need to learn how to channel it better. I need to be a more strategic fire hose, not a chaotic wildfire. And because I listened to the nugget of truth inside that criticism, I became a better communicator, a better leader, a better servant of people's transformation. Criticism didn't destroy me. It developed me. And that is how you win. Oh, you use the negativity. You recycle the rejection. You squeeze the lesson out of the loss. And you keep moving. You keep building. You keep fighting. Because when you stop growing because of criticism, you hand your life over to people who didn't have the guts to build one themselves. And you didn't come this far to quit now. You didn't fight through all the darkness just to let a few critics dim your light. You didn't survive everything you've survived just to get derailed by a couple of no's. You're still breathing. You're still standing. You're still here. That means your story is not finished yet. It means your mission is still alive. It means the best pages of your life haven't even been written yet. But it's not automatic. You have to decide. Decide to toughen your mind without hardening your heart. Decide to become immune to insult, but still open to insight. Decide to run toward your rejection, not away from it. And take from it every ounce of growth you can squeeze. Because every rejection plants a seed. And if you water it with resilience, if you fertilize it with fierce belief, if you protect it with patience and persistence, it will bloom to something beautiful. Something no critic can destroy. Something no rejection can deny. Something no setback can steal. It will bloom into a life so powerful, so impactful, so full, that even your enemies will have to sit back and say, wow, they really did it. Niwaran. And you will smile, not because you needed their approval, but because you honored your own mission. You will smile because you didn't let criticism shrink you. You let it sharpen you. You didn't let rejection crush you. You let it catapult you. And that is how legends are made. All right, now hear me. This is where it gets good. Because we've talked about the sting of rejection, the power of criticism, and how these things can either destroy you or fuel you. But here's the thing.
You don't just survive rejection. You own it. You don't just move through criticism. You master it. And I need you to lock this into your mind right now. Your greatest growth is always on the other side of your greatest discomfort. That's the truth. The breakthrough doesn't come in the easy moments. The growth doesn't happen in the sunshine. It happens in the storm. So when life starts throwing rocks at you, I want you to look up and say, bring it on. Because I'm going to turn every one of these stones into the foundation of my success. The critics will always be there, but so will your power. The haters will always talk, but so will your heart. The doubters will always doubt, but so will your drive. And you are a force to be reckoned with. The minute you start turning your rejection into your resurrection, you enter a whole new realm of power. You stop being a victim to your circumstances. You stop being a victim to other people's opinions. You stop letting the opinions of others determine your possibilities. Let me remind you of something. There was a time when every major achievement in history seemed impossible. People said, "It can't be done." They said, "You're not good enough." They said, "You're too young, too old, too inexperienced." And those words built legacy. Think about the Wright brothers. They were laughed at, ridiculed, called crazy. They were told it was impossible for humans to fly. And yet, they didn't let those words become their truth. They didn't let rejection define them. Instead, they let it drive them to new heights. And look where we are today. We're flying. Because the Wright brothers had a different belief. They saw rejection as an opportunity to fly higher. That's the difference. The greats in life don't shrink when they face rejection. They expand. They expand because they know that every no gets them one step closer to a yes that's even greater. They expand because they know that failure is not final. It's just feedback. And that feedback doesn't tell them they're not good enough. It tells them what they need to improve. It tells them what's working and what needs to change. That's the secret. Feedback fuels your evolution. So right now, if you're facing rejection, I want you to stop feeling sorry for yourself. If you've been knocked down, stop whining about the fall. If someone's been talking behind your back, stop caring about their opinion. Instead, look that rejection in the eyes and say, "Thank you. Thank you for teaching me. Thank you for making me better. Thank you for showing me how strong I really am." And then use it. Use it to grow. Use it to get smarter. Use it to get tougher. Use it to sharpen your skills. You are not defined by what others say about you. You are defined by what you say about you. I'm telling you right now, you are limitless. Your potential is untapped. Your future is wide open, and it's in your hands. There are people out there who will try to hold you back, try to make you shrink, try to dim your light. But you're stronger than they are. You're bigger than their small-minded opinions. You're a force of nature, and no rejection, no criticism, no setback can ever take that away from you. You were born to lead. You were born to break through. You were born to show up big in the world. So today, I want you to make a vow to yourself. You will not let criticism paralyze you. You will not let rejection make you small. You will turn every no into a hell yes. You will turn every obstacle into an opportunity to rise higher than you ever thought possible. Because you are built for greatness. And here's the thing, the more you rise, the more you grow, the more rejection you'll face. But here's the good news. Every time you rise higher, rejection becomes quieter. Every time you push forward, critics become smaller. And at some point, the only voice that will matter is yours. At some point, the only opinion you'll need to care about is your own. Because when you become unshakable, unstoppable, undeniable, nothing can touch you. Criticism will just be noise. Rejection will just be a moment. And you will stand tall with a heart full of purpose and a mind set on your vision. Your story isn't over. Your best days are ahead of you. The dream you've been chasing is coming. And the best part is, you are just getting started. You are stronger than you think. You are more capable than you realize. And you are already worthy of everything you dream. So keep going. Keep rising. Keep proving them wrong. Because the world is waiting for you to show up. And when you do, nothing will ever be the same. Let's go.